this is kind of our research and development. This is where it's all started, and kind of where we got our tasting profiles. Like it's a hodgepodge of different kinds of things between single malts, rye, finishes, crafts. So some of the favorites also, like affordable, any of the Four Roses. So this is the OESO, awesome product. Boulder Spirits out in Colorado, awesome product. This is their straight bourbon whiskey, phenomenal. I'm gonna have to get a new bottle. But JT Mellick coming out of Louisiana, rice whiskey is slept on. A lot more people need to try rice whiskey. It's awesome.
What if I told you that just off this highway, behind this abandoned Sears building, past this hidden entrance sign, across this loading dock, and then through the doors of this building is the birthplace of a brand new whiskey brand started by these guys.
We are two idiots who used to sit here and watch Ranger games and really enjoy ourselves.
Well, believe it or not, it's true. And Ryan and I are here to investigate. Welcome to Whiskeyland. But let's back up. I started my morning in New York City, took the train up to Hudson, New York to meet Ryan. And then we drove down to meet Matt and his dad, Greg, also known as Ope, in their hometown of Kingston, New York. A father and son whose love for bourbon started long ago. But the idea of starting a brand was an evolution of ideas since they first fell in love with whiskey.
We knew we wanted to be in the whiskey business, and we tried a few different things. We dreamed of opening a distillery, did the research, and quickly went,
We were $3 million in debt before we even...
Yeah, before we finished the plan in writing.
And then once we realized that we weren't going to become famous content creators, we buckled down, we came up with another idea. And that was Three Bears Whiskey Company. This is our cast strength bottle that we have right here. Pretty personal to us. The Three Bears is something that I actually have permanently tattooed on me. It was a design that my brother made. So like it's got the birth years and everything, so 01, whatever yours is, and then 98 for Connor. So it's all right there.
I mean, this is the first bottle, right? These are the first labels?
To be honest, talking to you guys is just sort of hitting us now because, we've been so nonstop the past few months. We both have our regular jobs. We kind of do this at night, and it's just kind of slowly happened, and to finally get here, it's pretty cool.
So when we came back after visiting bear number 3 for Christmas, it was kind of full go. I was up in my apartment, and he called me, and he was like, let's really do this.
Yeah, I sat down. I said, look, I got this amount.
So 74% corn, 18% rye, 8% malted barley. Coming in at 119 proof, 5.5 years. It's a Bardstown. It's made in Bardstown, Kentucky.
I knew it was something that we could do really low cost and get started, and it was actually realistic to do. And we're like, just go for it.
So we are maybe 2 days, 3 days out from like full launch. So
tomorrow we're gonna dump
bottle
all those
150.
We're gonna dump our entire catalog of bourbon. It's getting dumped tomorrow.
What do you think the most expensive bottle is that you have here?
I mean, secondary market right now, probably gonna be the Pappy 12-year Lot B. After that, I'd probably go with like the Michter's 10-year bourbon. That's about $300. The Baumburgers Precision Fine Grain.
Yeah, paid more for that than I should have.
Yeah, it's another good one. This is up there. Little Garrison Brothers Cowboy Bourbon. Russell's Reserve Single Rickhouse. I think that's another $300. Stag, you're getting those for $200.
To really understand the guys behind Three Bears, you need to hit the streets of the town they call home. So they took us on a tour of Kingston. First stop, Hoffman House, where they had an early test bottle as a preview for their community. We gave it a try.
What are we pouring here?
Three Bears Bourbon.
We are at the famous Hoffman House, home of the greatest garlic steak you've ever had in your life. This is our Just Right. This is going to be our 100 proof. Ope's in love with the Goldilocks theme since we're Three Bears.
That's where Just Right comes. When Goldilocks says Just Right.
Cheers.
Oh yeah, easy sipper for sure. That's so good.
For someone in our position, we're coming in at the exact right time. Barrels are cheap. I know the market's soft. There's no doubt about that. But I still think if you do unique, good products, which we very much intend to do, I think there's a market.
Next stop was Brickman, where their family lineage quite literally laid upon the walls.
Where we're at in Kingston and how many people love us and the connections that we do have allows us to start with 2 barrels and grow rapidly. And it allows us to do the things that Ope is talking about with like the awesome finishes and stuff like that. Through this, like we'll be able to build the bourbon community within Kingston, within the Hudson Valley. People are gonna see the awesome products that we're putting out, and they're gonna be available like in all these restaurants and all of these bars, and people are gonna be able to taste them before they just go and buy them.
You go and you travel and you go to all these really nice towns in New England and here and there, and like, you know, we take it for granted. And Kingston's, you know, it's like one of those towns. It's great. I can walk to these restaurants and we can go to Hoffman House and have a couple pours, and we go to Brickman and have a great meal, and it's just, you can't beat it.
You know all the right people, so you get taken care of, so it's kind of perfect.
There's definitely a local community, good groundswell. Obviously, to really grow, it's got to be beyond local here. We get that. But at the same time, Matt's already been in, you know, he's already connected with so many bars, so many restaurants. We're going to start local, start small, and be very purposeful about how we grow.
I've been in the restaurant industry since I was 14 years old, so I've been doing it for almost the past 10 years now. And just through meeting people through my uncle, since my family owns 2 restaurants and pride ourselves heavily on that. I'm super proud of my uncle for everything he's done, and also like the connections that he's built for me. So through that, I'm very comfortable walking into a restaurant, walking into a bar, being like, this is my product, this is why you need it, and why you should buy it.
Yeah, I drank bourbon. I mean, I was like, you know, I was like everyone else talks about. I would drink Jack and Gingers, you know, back in the day, you know, high school, going into college. Eventually phase out the ginger and phase out the other bull crap, and you just kind of get into the bourbon. And I've been doing that, you know, again, I've been doing that for 40 years. I mean, I love bourbon. Then when the boys got out of college and stuff, and we started hanging out, holidays and stuff, that's sort of where it really kicked up. You know, there's nothing like having a good pour with your boys. Yeah, just a good solid time.
If we could go back, I think we would have started with single malts, just because they have such a sweeter profile. They're super slept on and underrated within the whole whiskey community, and that needs to change, because it's the amount of things that you can do to alter that flavor, because it's such a hard flavor in general. So to change it and alter it with these super sweet finishes or abstract finishes is awesome.
If we were to actually have our own distillery, it would be single malts. Yeah, I think for New York, for the climate, the terroir, yeah, single malt and rye is where I go. I wouldn't really try to do bourbon here in New York. I mean, I know they make some decent bourbon, but that's where I would go. I know always moving guys. And I was looking for a site, and I didn't even realize they basically had taken over the entire old Sears building at the mall. You know, I talked to him, and I went up and met with him, and he's like, look, if you got this little section, our section that we have is literally where the hair...
Yeah, it's the old salon.
It was where the hair salon of Sears was.
We came up with this like treehouse idea so we could... I mean, we took it straight off.
You came up with that. That literally was off the junkies.
Yeah, took it straight out of junkies, because they drop their barrels from up top. So I was like,
yeah, you know how they have metal steps, and they have a really nice like metal deck that's like
OSHA approved, and we did all that.
We did that, but with 2x4s.
Yeah. We're golden.
Right now, we're trying to figure out how many bottles we put as cask strength, and how many we do at 100 proof. So obviously we're gonna do the cask strength first, and then proof it to 100. So it's kind of a big decision.
Everything so far has gone good. We were expecting everything to go to the worst, but everything's gone well so far.
in our run through about a month ago, we had definitely had some, ups and downs. We expect, we're gonna keep our composure. We expect it to work out a lot of issues today. It'll be interesting.
I go sick on the beat, man's ill. Key the key, G, man, know I got skill. Don't tell a man.
This is a Lost Lantern barrel pick coming out of Rich Grain Distilling Company, which actually went out of business during COVID. So this is an Exonine barrel pick. I think there was it was either 77 bottles or 77 barrels. Yeah, in the entire country. So this is Stranahan's Diamond Peak. Every year they rotate what the Diamond Peak blend or finish was. So this is a very interesting single malt. Distilled in 1995, a year after Mom and Dad got married. Flammable, 152 proof, so corn whiskey. Old Forester, single barrel rye, barrel strength. Balcones came and did a tasting at Old Savannah when I was managing there. They let me try this, and at the time I was like, Dad, we gotta get one. We didn't for a while, but
Yeah, I grabbed that. I grabbed that up in Albany.
Once you did find it, we're happy we got that.
That's pretty darn good.
The barrels were ready to dump, but things were about to get a little hairy.
These finger paws?
Well, yeah, the pause that comes with you definitely couldn't dip. Yeah, no extracurricular use with those either. Okay. Just so we're clear. I definitely wouldn't put your.
I'm gonna put the helmet on up there.
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't put it on up there.
Can't see for shit with that.
Ope knew one thing for sure. To make it in this industry, you gotta have more than great juice. You gotta do something to stand out. Even if that means suiting up in a full body bear costume. Something Matt wasn't quite sure about in the beginning.
And then we fought over the costumes for 2 weeks.
Well, I didn't like they got scary mouths. I wanted like a normal bear mouth, but you can't find realistic bear costumes for some reason unless you want to pay like $700.
And Matt gets scared really easy. I just went ahead. I was like, yes, we can fight and forever, but I just ordered them. And then I came in from playing golf last Saturday. I walked in, I put it on, and I just sent it out so he would have an idea what it was, and he was like, yeah, that's funny.
Not as bad as I thought. Yeah. Paid actor.
Paid in bourbon. I'm gonna Velcro my hair and I'm gonna be sick.
He was like a teenager, being embarrassed by his parents. It's just I'm not doing it. The bear's too scary. This is the stupidest idea ever.
I wanted a plain face.
Yeah.
This is like.
You're a bear. Bears are supposed to be scary. You
Not
want
us.
to
I'm
be
a
Yogi?
cuddly bear. I'm like a koala.
It takes a village to make a whiskey dream come true. And that's why Mama Bear is there to help. Writing labels is just a cherry on top compared to her secret skill of mediation.
Matthew has an idea, and then I listen to it, and then I secretly tell Greg, this is what Matthew wants to do, now that they know my secret. And I do the same thing with Greg. He'll tell me something, and then I'll tell Matthew. So I'm just kind of like the quiet one that's making everything work together. It's a really good dynamic.
She does. She works 40, 50 hours a week at a regular job. She's writing her doctorate. That's 40, 50 hours a week. It's amazing. And I sit on the couch and I gamble on my phone and watch sports. And now I have a whiskey company.
Yeah.
Well, it's just been fun watching my husband and the boys doing something that they love. I love the bonding, and yeah, I'm just kind of here for the ride.
With the bourbon bear in full effect, it was time to dump the whiskey.
This is exactly how Jim Beam does it.
Bear costume and everything. It's actually part of the. In order to be a straight bourbon whiskey, you have to dump in a bear costume.
Oh, dang.
Not leaking.
Well, we haven't even got up to the spout yet.
He won't admit it, but I'm ope to a T. The same exact humor, same, basically almost everything. So it's a little weird. If you look at picture of me junior in high school, picture of him junior in high school, it's a little scary.
There we go. R&D. That's the char. good.
Yeah, sitting here on winter nights, drinking Double Oak Woodford Reserve and watching the Rangers kind of really bonded it.
Yeah.
It made us fall in love with bourbon, whiskey, talking, just bullshitting together, and then being able to be like, all right, I trust you enough to do this company with you. I know you'll have my back and I'll have yours. So it's like, if we can sit here at the end of the night and still bullshit and still talk bourbon and whiskey, like we'll be all good.
Where's the bear head?
Bear goes on top of the barrel.
I'm basically dressed as a bear. I got most of it done.
Everything's fucking half-assed.
It is dripping. It is dripping.
Just make sure all valves are closed, Dad.
That's just the remnants from the initial dump.
Because this is too. Oh, it's.
That's good.
It's the first pour of the first product.
Yeah, this is exciting. Thank you guys so much for being here. Well, get your fucking hat on. Jesus.
For 1 second, we could just say we fucking did it. We just dumped our first barrel.
We did it. Get your hat on. Half-assed the bear. Jesus Christ.
One of the things that got us, like me and my brother, fired up was when we had that, like, a first initial talk, like, let's go with it. I mean, he was like Mel Gibson in Braveheart, like giving this speech, and he's just like, I'm gonna help you guys start this, but this is for you too. I've worked for people, like under people my entire life. I'm happy with the people I've worked for, but I don't want you guys to have to do that. I want you guys to own this. I want you guys to take this over, and I want you guys to grow it. And I want it to be something that we can have as a family, create generational wealth, and just enjoy.
As they put the costumes back on for bottling, I realized what moment Ryan and I had stumbled upon. This was another family business. This was a father and his son chasing their dream together. And even with all the silliness, there was an undercurrent we could all feel. One of love, gratitude, and the magic you feel creating something with the people you love most. It's something not all of us get to experience. And in a way, it seems like subconsciously, everyone in the room knew it. Now, the third bear, Connor, wasn't here while we were filming because of his job in DC, but Matt's friend gladly stepped up to fill his bear suit until his next visit.
It's not as bad as I remember when we wore it at the house.
I promise.
It is fucking hot though. Jesus. What's that shit?
Yeah, man, I can't really see it.
Sometimes it feels like the American dream is dead. But through meeting these guys and seeing what a few people with a passion can do, maybe it's not dead at all. Maybe it's just in a bear suit in an empty Sears building. And it's building something for the future. And the act alone is enough because at the end of the day, they're making whiskey they love with their favorite people.
That's my neck.
You keep coming discombobulated. What are you doing?
What's up, guys? Let's go. What up, bud?
I got
I know. I'm like,
What's going on?
I see your clothes.
What?
Is there what? 3 bottles on this? Yeah. I actually have had and do have a great career, but I think it's important, to really grow and do what you want to do. You really have to be in charge of your destiny. I really want that for them. Matt, again, when he was working in the restaurant business, he was he's in that in-between world that people coming out of college are. And it's just like the perfect time. He was like not sure where he wanted to go. He's here. He's such a people person that, I knew that would really work.
It's something that we all love. So the fact for us to actually be doing it now after 9 months of playing the hurry up and wait game and going through all the legalities is fucking awesome. Bottling today was the best thing that I've done in so long. So happy. It's a lot of stress off the shoulders, just being able to know that money can start coming in instead of just keep coming out.
So yeah, that's the biggest. We're at the point right now. It's like just a little trickle in would just be. That's all we need.
It's one of the things that brings us all together, like unanimously. Besides like sports and like just being family, like sitting down and just like bullshitting, talking about whiskey and doing like flights in like our whiskey library and stuff is like kind of our favorite thing to do, especially like since Connor's away and when he's home, when we're able to just sit there and talk bourbon, it's awesome. I think we forgot about this because we don't drink it as much anymore, but this was one of the ones that really started our collection. At the time in our bourbon journey, this was the shit. It's like, yo, we got Infinity Blend, let's go. Buzzard Drew's Cigar Rye. This is the barrel proof that you did when you went down to Craig. You went down there. That's Opie's Hooch. I mean, you gotta get your Smoke Eye Hill. They say it's the stag killer. Don't agree.
We ended our trip with some dinner and a few pours at an amazing restaurant in Kingston. And it's here in Whiskeyland where on one end, we're making the show to share with the world, but on the other is this very personal and meaningful experience we get to have with new friends like Matt and Ope.
Yeah, I mean, you just sit down with your sons and just have a pour, watch a game, just bullshit. I mean, that's what our brand's all about.
It's top tier. Made with care, meant to be shared.
This guy's on point.